Welcome back to the Donovan and Jorgensen Heating and Cooling Friday Night Rivals pregame show. We're getting close to kickoff as Racine Case travels to Oak Creek for a Southeast Conference matchup. And before we send you over to Terry Kelly and John Weiser, we want to introduce you to this week's Current Electric behind-the-scenes superhero of the game. And it's our chance to say thank you to people that put a ton of time into high school and youth athletics. This week's Current Electric behind-the-scenes superhero of the week is Adam Martin. Adam is the president of the youth football program in Oak Creek. He's also helped coordinate the construction of the new entrance and team room at Oak Creek High School. Adam, how you doing?
Hey, good. How are you?
Good. Adam, so this segment, I love doing this segment because we get to thank guys like you. And when I asked Joel Parr for this Current Electric behind-the-scenes superhero of the week, he did not hesitate. Adam, he said, I got the guy. I know exactly who I want you to highlight, promote, and celebrate, and it's Adam Martin. The amount of time that he gives to this program and this community is really incredible. So I want to say thank you for all the time that you put into youth sports, for the high school, and certainly for the high school program.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to do it. Joel's a great guy, a good friend, and happy to know him, and happy to be a part of the community.
Oh, hey, let's talk a little bit about the youth football program. How long have you been involved with that?
So I've been involved with Oak Creek football. This is going on my 11th year. So I've been coaching all 11 years. I've been part of the board for the last 6. This is my 3rd year running the program.
I don't know if people understand how much time that takes, Adam. As we had talked about before we started talking on this interview, that my son-in-law, John Bonder, who runs the Brookfield East Youth Program, and I'm telling you that I don't think people understand the amount of time and sweat equity it takes to run a program, a youth program like you do in Oak Creek. That is a labor of love. I know you don't get paid $1.2 million to run that thing.
No, nothing. It is a labor of love. And our program's gone through a lot of changes. 5 years ago, we had 142 kids, like 5 teams. Now we're 300 strong with 10 teams. So the biggest thing was putting the focus back on the kids, giving them the opportunity, and give them the chance.
Yeah, I agree with that. Can we talk about the construction side of this? When Joel said he really helped coordinate between the construction company and between our kids, the class that we have at Oak Creek to help build this beautiful facility. Tell me a little bit about that part of what you've done for Oak Creek.
Yeah, absolutely. So my day job, which I spend probably less hours doing than youth football, I actually work for the both companies. So I'm a project manager with a construction firm. And I was meeting with Scott Holler a couple of years ago, and we're just talking about a few things in the field. And he was bringing up another school that had just built a new team room building, and he was kind of pointing at this old blue pole barn they had, and kind of said jokingly, like, you know what I do for a living, right? Like, let's do it with the kids. And it was just a comment made in passing, and he's like, really? I'm like, sure. And one thing led to another. We put some renderings together, got it, the school board unanimously approve it. And we work hand in hand with Knight Construction. We got the kids to help in every phase of the project, from the demo to laying the block, concrete, electrical, plumbing, roofing, you name it, they did it. And so we actually ended up employing 3 kids at the conclusion of that project and offering another one an internship. So it turned full circle. It was super fun to be a part of.
Adam, Current Electric sponsors this segment because their slogan is Home of the Superhero, and I do a lot of things with them on the marketing side, and they're going to love to hear that story of you getting high school kids, every part of this, from the roof to laying the brick to the electrical to the plumbing. What a valuable lesson it was for those kids that got involved in that. And they can drive by there for the rest of their life and point at it and say, look, I built that. I'm so proud of it. We built that for our school. And thank you for putting that time in. I really appreciate it. I think you need to spend more time on your real job than youth football, but that's just me saying it. Adam Martin, congratulations on being this week's Behind the Scenes Superhero of the Week.
Thank you very much.
You bet. On the other side of the break, we're going to turn it over to John Weiser and Terry Kelly as the Eagles from Racine Case travel to take on the Knights from Oak Creek in a Southeast Conference matchup. This has been the Donovan and Jorgensen Heating and Cooling Friday Night Rivals pregame show only on My 24.